Oh shit. Shit, I look clad, bro. What the fudge, man? Good gangy. Nathan. Was good say. Get 1 second, chat. 1 second. 1 second. Don't kill yourself. Alright. I'm gonna do a quick one-on-one session with my members, with my family members. In the Discords. Alright, chat. Today gonna be we're gonna go over the week as well. I'm gonna do first quickly do a one-on-one session over with one guy. You're gonna record it so because I need the recording. Yesterday I spent fucking 2 hours chit chatting with one guy with a yapping session, bro. It was crazy, man. It was good though. He learned a lot, 2 hours is a lot of time, and I need the fucking. I mean, at least I need something. I need to get something out of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Damn. Already. Okay. Let me get the rest of the recording. Cause that shit. All right, chat. Before we start off anything, I gotta go do a quick one-on-one session. Let's hope it's not long, but I don't. Huh? Look like a nerd, nigga. What? What's wrong with you, man? Shit, man. Oh, I beat your shit out you. Don't really call me a nerd, bro. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. All right, chat. Fuck it. If he's not gonna come, we're gonna quickly start off with the thing until he comes. Quick one-on-one session with one of our Discord members. Let's see if it'll show up or not. But otherwise, get straight into our breakdown here, eh? Injection block. Hey, my entry was on injection block, bruv. Okay, okay. So the entry over here on a Wednesday was not supposed to be the injection block. It's supposed to be the 50% mark right there. All right. So what else we had here? On top of other shit. Short on the bit. Yeah. This is where we took our Tuesday loss. I was supposed to be bullish here. Um, We were trying to go for the 4 hour low, which was all the way down here. I mean, oh my god, man. This is our actual start they're supposed to have on a Tuesday. That bitch. Bro. Alright, 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 alright. Enough yapping. Enough yapping. Let's see if one more thing. Monday was a good loss, right, chat? Monday was a beautiful loss. Wait, what do we have for Monday? What's quick chat before we start of anything? Let me go do my analysis paralysis, right? Because if I yap about the analysis paralysis, I have some headaches. Let me go quick do my analysis paralysis for the whole week. Monday was a beautiful day outside here. Fuck those. Oh, week. It was this week ready to be here. We had Daily IRO, TRO. Okay, okay, enough yapping. We had SM. I'm pretty sure we had SMT. But what do we had SMT with? During that time, we had SMT with some sort of SMT here. Somebody told me, bro, there was no range here, bro. Somebody told me that. Fuck you. Oh, so recital happened at 1 a.m. accumulation mid profession. All right. Instead of having it. Maybe. Never. All right. So first happened at 5 a.m. Bro. For sure. We're trying to go to his battle. Fuck out. That's too. Hey. Okay, we got another example of the wick working out there. And the next day there was no setup. Let's see if the guy's there, man. All right, chat. See, well, here. What's up, my brother?
Hey, hey, bro, can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. I can hear you.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How you doing, my brother? How you doing? How you doing? How's Pakistan, man?
I'm good, man. Pakistan's good. Pakistan's good. Have
Let's
you
get
been
straight
here?
into it. So I wanted to talk about what's your main concern out of this one-on-one session, brother?
Sorry, I didn't get you. What you saying?
Like, where are you trying to get out of this one-on-one session? Where are you struggling with that we could potentially
Okay,
move on?
yeah. So, I'm struggling. I'll just give you a bit of a brief intro about me so that you'll be able to better understand
Yep,
the
yep.
situation.
Go ahead. I can't hear you no more, brother. Are you there? Think you bugged.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, now I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so I was saying I'll just share a quick brief intro about me so that you'll be able to better, guide me
Yep,
or,
yep, I got
know.
you.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So, my name is Shanzar and I'm from Pakistan. By profession, I'm a doctor, a professionally licensed doctor. I practice as well. And by passion, I'm also as well a content creator both on YouTube and Instagram. Along with that, I am a calisthenics athlete as well and a personal trainer international level. So I do that in my free time as well. And along with that, I started trading in 2020. Then the COVID time, and since then I've been through all the phases that everyone goes through, the loss,
I think you bug a little bit, brother. Can't hear you now. There. Your heat glasses are gonna be fucked. Yo, my boy Shanzar, are you there, brother? I think your Wi-Fi bugged again. Hello?
Yeah, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Can you
now I
hear me
can hear
now?
you, brother. Now I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I think my just net is acting up. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, it's just acting up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Till where did you were you able to listen or hear?
I think I just want to just want to know about your trading. You know what I'm saying? I heard about your lifestyle, but trading is what we're here for, right?
Yeah, yeah, okay. So trading one. Yeah, I was telling you that the trading I started in 2020, and now I've been through all of the phases that everyone goes through, and I've kind of emotionally matured, I would say, and I've understood that without risk management psychology, there's nothing, no true success in that. So currently, I took a long 6 months break, and I have tried to focus on my psychology.
I mean, you
I
gotta
personally
first before
think.
you focus. My bad for pausing you. But before you focus on psychology, you have the right system.
Yeah, that's also what I'm struggling with as well
Yeah. So
because I
the psychology doesn't matter
yeah,
how good psychology is. If the system is not there, doesn't matter of how disciplined you are, you're not gonna make it, right? Because the
exactly,
system needs to
exactly,
first work.
exactly,
You say?
exactly. I get you.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I understand that. So the CRT, the one you are following, I've actually tried to learn that as well. Through I think the on YouTube there's this guy Romeo, I think so.
Yeah, Romeo.
Yeah, Romeo, and then there's Turtle Soup as well, maybe some Turtle Soup Room as well. So I've tried to watch his videos as well, took his course
Only
as well.
stick to the actual, people who has fucking actually know about it. The soup room and all the people, you shouldn't listen to them. Only listen to Romeo, right? You shouldn't even listen to me, right? But I'm just one of his students. You
Yeah.
just go based out of him, right? That's all I do.
Okay, 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 perfect. So I'm actually struggling with two the things right now in developing system, a proper rule-based approach that I can follow, on day-to-day basis, and that I can back test as well,
You
along
don't
with
need to
forward
back
test.
test, man. Just back test a little bit. Don't mean back test. I said first. I just forward test. There's no need to for you to back test.
Okay.
You spend too much time, right? As you guys know, we're not here.
Mm.
We're not in life for too long. We're gonna eventually have to go to hell or heaven, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
spending
yeah.
too much time on back testing is just gonna do you worse. It's just a tool, right? It's
Oh,
not gonna get you profitable.
oh no, but don't you think that'll increase your confidence while you're taking
No, but
trades in the live market?
execution is what you need to focus on. That's why you need to forward test, right? Because back
Okay.
testing, you can have the
Yeah.
perfect setups, but execution in actual live data, that's what you need to actually focus on. Because execution is the hardest part of learning.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Because
I
I
agree with
have
you.
me personally, I have a 90% win. I have a 90% accuracy rate and bias, right? Like 90% of the time, I'm correct on my bias, but execution, I'm there like 40% correct, right? Geez, there's a huge difference
Okay.
between each other, right?
Yeah, 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 I understand.
So
Yeah,
that's what
okay.
you need to focus on forward testing instead of back testing. So getting live data, forward test it, and see the flaws and pros. Eventually, journal everything. Right. Once you get a journal over like a month of journaling, you're gonna find okay,
Okay.
this was constantly what happened throughout the month. Right. Okay, I'm facing this problem of psychology. This needs to be fixed up, right? This is my execution. Okay, so you can. That sometimes when I have the wrong Monroe one, I be you know what I'm saying
Yeah.
I be getting stop loss. Some shit like that, right?
Yeah. I understand. I understand. So I actually used to journal as well, but for one strategy I was testing, as I got really good at journaling and following the discipline, but somehow I got on a losing streak. And then you would understand that I just hopped onto a different strategy. I left
Yeah,
it.
that's the bad. That's the worst thing you can. The reason you're
Yeah,
losing
yeah,
streak,
yeah.
you don't want to pattern trade, right? Every time Romeo talks about CRT, talks about it in a
Yeah.
logical way, right? Never in a pattern way,
Yeah. I've actually watched a lot of his videos, and but I the main one more issue I have is that, like, for example, if I took the Romeo's course or watch his videos, after that I understand and everything, but it's tough for me to implement it while reading it live on the market.
Uh-huh.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep. But do you know what concept that
Yeah.
he? Do you know what the concept you're supposed to use or no? What are the current concept that you use
Um.
with CRT?
So I'm actually looking at the 5 a.m., the 9 a.m.,
Yeah,
the
those
1, 5,
concepts
and
are
9
those
candle.
concepts are not fixed, by the way. They don't work like that. They work differently, right? They work based on what type of daily profile it is there. Is it a New York reversal or is it a New York continuation, right? Because a near 9 a.m. CRT model could happen at 7 a.m. candle, right? So you need to I'll
Oh,
show you I'll
okay.
show you examples. Don't worry about that. We got the
Yeah,
chart
yeah,
right over
sure.
here, but it doesn't work like that,
Yeah.
right? People they that's why I tell you to only focus on Romeo or the student he actually knows what he's doing, right? Because Soup Room, they don't
Oh,
care.
yeah.
They want
Okay.
to get the courseman, right? He has courses, so he just want to, make you fucking buy his course. That's all he cares about, right? Sham, I think Sham
Yeah.
is a CRT student as well,
Jam.
right?
Yeah,
He's a
yeah,
very good
yeah.
student as
Yeah.
well.
He's.
But even him, he doesn't teach you the actual way after how to trade a CRT, right? He just says the 3 a.m. model, the 5
Oh.
9 a.m. model, right? But it doesn't talk
Yeah.
about the
Exactly.
specific
Exactly.
time, right? Because 9 a.m. model could happen around 6 a.m., 7 a.m., or even the 5 a.m. model could happen around 6 a.m. time, right? For a New York reversal, right?
Oh. Okay. Okay.
It
Okay.
all
So
depends on the daily profile, which we're gonna talk about as well.
okay. Perfect. Um. So I would want to see you on the chart, like how you look at the market in the CRT way. Like,
Yep. I did it
is it,
yesterday with the other
yeah.
guy. We'll do it today again. But do you got
Okay,
any
sure.
other concerns before before we move forward?
Um, any other concern? Okay, so and yeah, okay. One more question I have is I struggle a lot with, like, you could say, when I go in a drawdown. Basically, if I'm trading prop firms,
I made a video
or if
about
I
that
go.
drawdown as well. I purposely got in drawdown and got out of it. You could check that video out as well, and learn from that as well.
Yeah, it's low. I just started watching this was the most recent video.
Uh-huh.
I just started watching that. Yeah. I'll watch that. Other than that, I don't think I have any more, because I'm mainly trying to focusing on one system and forward testing it and working on it.
Do you have a psychology problem? What's your psychology problem as of right now?
Oh, psychology problem is that let me give you an example. Yeah, the worst is the revenge trading. The revenge
Bench
trading that
trading.
I do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, revenge trading is, I'd say,
All
I'm
right, we're,
struggling
we're
with.
gonna fix that up because as a profit trader, we usually you have a huge amount of experience, right? You have to say what as 2020, you have like at least 5 years of experience. So what you need to
Yeah,
focus
exactly.
on, I mean, that's easy for you to fix. That's no worries, right? You know that a
Okay.
profitable trader needs to focus on profit traders. Even take a trade a week. They check 1 to 3 trade a week's max,
Yeah.
right? So that will help you avoid taking revenge trades, right? Eventually, once you learn how to trade
Mm,
CRT, you're gonna take one session, right? You're gonna take one triple session. You're gonna take the right setup, right? Without there being any revenge
oh
trading,
yeah,
right? But
exactly.
before we go any further, what's your terminology right now as of trading? What's your concept that you use to take trades out of?
Currently, currently what I'm using.
Uh-huh. No.
Okay,
It's like
so yeah.
what concept do you use currently to predict the market, to analyze the market, right? You use daily profile, weekly
Okay.
profile. What are the concepts that you use to anticipate?
Okay. So I was just trying to simplify my system and approach at looking at the markets because I also once tried to look at the market the ICT way, but that was just too much for me. That was just
Yeah.
going, yeah,
That's why Romeo and CRT is there, right? They make it only specific concept that have been working for the past like 2 generations, right? But what I'm trying to ask you is,
yeah.
you know, what are the current terminology do you use, right? What do you use? Do you use, what do you use currently, like to analyze the chart? Do you
Okay.
use
So I usually just try to make it simple. Like I go on the 4-hour chart. I try to mark the key levels from where the market previously made support and broke it, and the areas,
Oh
resistance
yeah, they all
support
needs to get
areas, and
scratched
then
up, man. All right, let's scratch all up, right? Let's get straight to the chart because I think
okay,
you're fully in the wrong side, right? But if you should never
okay,
analyze the 4 hour chart first. You should always start with the daily, weekly, monthly, 3 months, 6 months,
daily,
and
okay,
12 months, right? You go to
okay, sure,
if
sure,
you
yeah,
go to my market forecast, right? I have a place of market forecast where I pre-predict the market. You see my chart, right?
yeah, yeah. I can, I
I
can.
pre-predict this push to the downside all the way to the upside, right? From a 12-month time frame, right? You can be doing the same thing,
Oh,
right?
okay,
And I've literally have proof. You go
okay,
to my YouTube channel, you go check my first market forecast, and I said from here all the way to over here, right? But that's not the words, right?
okay,
But for you to start off,
yeah.
for you to actually, you know, know what you're doing, because for a time frame, there's so much happening here, right? If you see my chart, right? You see my chart? I think you bug again.
Yeah,
Hello, you there?
yeah.
So you see my 4 hour chart, right? Right over here, the 4 hour time frame chart.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
You
I
see, there's
can.
so much
Yeah,
happening here.
exactly.
You don't know what's happening around here. You don't know. There's so much key level left and right? So you need to start off the higher
Yeah.
time frame where there's less candles. So the higher time frame has higher power,
Okay.
right? And so that they know we're gonna go on
Okay.
a higher time frame basis, right? As of right now, where the market current price point is, market is high likely to go to this price point right over here. Why? Because the 12 month, the 6 month CRT low got souped. We're gonna go the 6 month
Oh.
CRT high, right? You can see the 4 hour time frame. You don't know we're gonna supposed to be shorting this 4 hour order block to the downside or whatever, right?
Oh, yeah,
So
exactly.
you
Understood.
first need to start with the higher time frame, which is usually the daily, the weekly, or the monthly, or the 6 month, or the 12 month. Right?
Okay.
The only time you use any other time from above the weekly is during Saturday or Sunday. Right now it's Saturday, Sunday. Right? So right now we have to go
Yeah.
anticipate the higher time frame, like the 12 month time frame, the 6 month time frame. What's gonna happen in a very long term, right? But if I'm like during the
Okay.
weekdays, like Monday to Friday, I'm gonna look primarily
Yeah.
at daily and weekly, right? But if there's a market going one direction throughout the week, I need to see the higher time frame,
Yeah.
like the 3 month time frame, the 6 month time frame, the monthly time frame to know where the market is going, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah. Perfect.
first thing that they see I see in your flaws is you look at the 4 hour time frame alone, right? As they literally I think
Yeah.
the people you learn from, they teach you the wrong way. They say look at the 4 hour time frame. No, you need to look at the higher time frame first. You need to get the daily bias, right? They just talking about the
Okay.
execution. Execution is as I
Yeah.
said, a whole different thing. Which if you don't have a daily
Okay.
bias, you're not gonna have the right execution, right? Because on the 4 hour time frame,
Exactly.
you could show this 4 hour for gap and get wrecked, right? You could show this for 4 hour order block and get wrecked, right? So
Yeah.
when
You're
you
right.
have the higher time frame, you only care about specific key levels. You only care about key levels that are bullish, right? You don't care about key levels that are bearish, right?
Okay.
So we're gonna be
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about that as
exactly.
well. So let's get straight into it,
Okay.
right? So let me show you how I
Yeah,
do
sure.
my analysis in the higher time frame first, right? We could start
Okay. Okay.
um from Tuesday, right? See right over here,
Yeah.
Tuesday. Get the actual time here. So on Tuesday, all I do first is go to higher time frame, right? In this case, you can see there's a weekly right over here, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a
exactly.
weekly ERL to IRL, weekly, you know what I'm saying? There's a weekly
Yes.
CRT to the downside
Yes,
as
yeah.
well. But the weekly CRT did not get purged yet, right? So we're looking for a short-term drawn
Okay.
liquidity to be the weekly CRT high because if the market is going to the weekly ERL to IRL, market is going to the high first of the weekly CRT and go lower, right? Because there's a range there, right?
Okay.
Since
Yeah, right.
you can see the
Right.
weekly time frame is bearish, but we're in the lower time frame going to be bullish. You know why? Because there's a short-term and a long-term drawn liquidity, right? And short-term drawn liquidity
Okay.
always leads to the long-term draw liquidity, right? So the weekly time frame, weekly ERL to IRL as well the weekly to the downside, right? So our short-term drawn liquidity would be the
Okay.
weekly CRT high right over here, right? That would be a short-term drawn liquidity.
Oh.
And our long-term would be here. You can see how the
Mm.
market went up higher, but guess what? That's
Yeah.
because there was news happening around, and guess what? This push to the upside was nothing random. This push to the upside happened went to the longer term drawn liquidity, which is the I'm saying daily range
Oh,
high,
okay.
right? You can see how
Yeah.
the market is never random, right? So now all we're doing is going to the
Mm.
daily time frame. Once we have a weekly, negative to the downside, but now to go look at daily. Okay, is a daily going to weekly? Is it the I'm saying what is the daily time frame telling us, right? To get
Yeah.
more in depth into the market, right? So
Yeah, perfect.
on a daily, what we have here is multiple things here now, right? So now daily has way more
Okay.
candles here. We can more anticipate more, right? What do you see as of right now in a daily
Yeah.
time frame?
Okay, so on the daily, I can see like this huge the engulfing candle. It broke structure for on the left side.
Huh?
Previous, it broke its
You
previous
do
high.
not want to focus on structure because the structure is you only because you're a day trader, right?
Yeah.
You only care about the
Okay.
4 hour. And keep in mind, bro, you don't have to worry about the 4 hour. You don't have to worry about the structure at all. All you gotta worry about, because you could
Okay.
take you could take reversal trades, right? You don't have to worry about structure, but
Yeah.
it does give you a confidence in a trading. But you should not always focus on structure. That's how people fail. Because there could be a break to the
Oh,
downside, or you took a short. I guess you're taking the market still went up higher, right? So it doesn't make sense like that, right?
okay.
So since you're a day
Yeah.
trader, we're gonna be
Okay.
talking about that as well. So don't worry about that. But
Okay. Sure.
what else do you see here?
Um. So over here, according to the CRT concept, then I can see the low, you can say, of this the first bearish candle.
Uh-huh.
The low of it has been purged. No, the this one, the bearish candle after the bullish engulfing, the top, the biggest candle,
Uh-huh.
biggest bullish candle. Yeah, the after that.
All right. All right. Okay.
No, on the right side, the right side.
Uh-huh. This one.
Next one, yeah, this one,
Holy,
yeah.
holy. Okay. I don't
So
I don't understand these
yeah,
terms, right? All I know is I gotta look at the chart. Is like it's a little different. Keep on going. Keep on going.
okay. So the low of this is purged, right?
Uh-huh. TRT. Uh-huh.
Okay, and yeah, so now if we can look to target the upper end of this.
All right. So is this TRT
Yeah.
respected or not? So you gotta tell me if it's respected or not.
No, it's not respected because it closed below this
Uh-huh. How
low.
what says it's not respected?
Because the second candle closed below the
Yeah, but you gotta look
you
at this,
know,
right? What is a total soup, right? You know what a total soup is, right?
I do know. I do know.
A total soup is two things, right? A total soup is basically a thing where it could go to a turtle body soup where the body closes below the candle and
Okay.
it still get respected, right? Or it can be a total soup where it just wicks it out, goes up higher, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's not the main worry. The main worry is that this candle right over here in the lower time frame. So just using the time frame alignment, right? So if you have a daily key level, what time frame do you scale down to?
Uh, for the 4 hour.
Oh, you scale down to the hourly because I have a whole boot
Or-
camp out of this. Okay, I have a pre boot camp that I'll share it to you. A free boot camp.
Okay.
We'll talk about every concept that you need to know that ICT and
Okay.
Romeo has
Perfect.
talked about. Right, that actually works. So since you have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
daily key level, right, daily a CRT, right, you're
Okay.
gonna go to the hourly time frame to confirm the CRT here, right?
Oh.
So in
Okay.
the
Okay.
hourly
Perfect.
time frame,
Perfect.
where's the confirmation to the CRT here?
Okay. Let me show 1 minute. The candle, that wicked. Yeah, this one.
All right, all right,
This
uh-huh.
bearish candle
So,
that
but
wicked
the daily
down.
time frame still closed below it. So is it still respected or no?
Along as per the one you told me that turtle soup with the body closure as well is get respected, so that I
So no, no,
guess
you
then.
have to don't focus on that concept. Focus on the lower time frame, right? So if you have a daily, CRT, we have to confirm it by the hourly number one, right? So if a daily CRT, the hourly time frame confirms the number one here, right? The number one, the daily and the hourly time frame is confirmed here, right? You can see how it's confirmed here.
Okay.
So hourly time is doesn't matter. It
Uh,
doesn't matter if he closes below it, right? Once he closes below it,
oh,
if the model one is still there and it's confirmed this CRT is still valid, but just a little lower probability, right? But it's a higher time frame, so
Lower
the low
probability.
probability doesn't even matter. It's
Oh,
still respected regardless, right?
okay.
So you
Yeah,
can see
yeah,
if you play the
respect.
if you play it forward, right, it's respected, right? You can see how you got respected. So you have a
Okay.
clear drawn liquidity to
Yeah,
the CRT high, and you have a clear drawn liquidity to the
yeah.
daily range high right over here, right? So now if you go back
Okay,
chart to
yeah,
this
yeah.
panel right over here, so now over here, what else do you see instead of the CRT here? You see daily ranges, you see, you know, the ranges or anything like that?
Uh, Other than that, I'm getting a bit confused.
All right. So let me share my perspective, right? Because I don't think you know
Yeah,
these concepts,
yeah,
right? So, as in
yeah.
what I see, since we have the weekly, right? Weekly have the see that weekly have less candles. So now daily have more
Yeah.
candles, so we can go more in depth into the market, right? So daily time frame on what I
Yeah.
see, we market souped out a low, eventually souped out a high right over here, right? So once we soup out a low and a soup out a high, what does it create? It creates a daily range, right? So this is the start of the daily
Okay.
range. Market made a stable low after pushing the low. After pushing the high,
Yeah.
market made a stable high. So everything here is
Okay.
premium discount. So once the market
This
taps the discount daily range, I would draw on liquidity, become a daily range high, which is all over here, right? So
Oh, okay.
on what else do I see? I see a classic expansion profile to the upside. Why? Because Monday had SMT with a Tuesday low, right? So you can see there was an SMT divergence here. So since
Yeah.
there's an
Yeah,
SMT,
yeah.
there was an SMT the daily time, but the lower time was the SMT. So this low was protected, right? So
Okay.
on what I see,
Okay.
there's a classic expansion profile too. So we see Monday being the low of the week. So if it's Monday the low of the week and it's a classic expansion profile too, we're expecting for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday to expand to a drawn liquidity
Yeah.
right to the higher time frame, right? And what else do I see? I
Okay.
see a daily CRT. Although it closed below it, it's still respected because the hourly time frame confirmed the number one here, right? So the CRT is still respected
Yeah.
here, right? So now
Okay,
I have
perfect.
this higher time frame drawn liquidity. So what's my higher time frame drawn liquidity now? Tell me.
High time frame drawn liquidity.
Yeah, what's my drawn liquidity? Is it bullish or bearish?
It's bullish.
All right, okay. So since it's bullish, now we go to the 4 hour time frame. So now in the 4 hour time frame, we're looking for logical reasoning to the upside and downside. Right? It's looking for logic reasoning, right? You don't want to be
Okay. Yeah.
shorting, longing for no reason, right? So now
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna build up a narrative, a context to the market, right? So where we can have a logical reason to the
Okay.
push to the upside, so we can actually stop gambling and actually trading for real, right?
Yeah,
So now in the
exactly.
lower time frame,
Exactly.
now this is when we go to the 4 hour time, right? We don't go to the 4 hour time straight away. We only go to the 4 hour time frame once we get the higher
Okay.
time and draw on liquidity, right? So
Yeah,
now since
right.
we're in the 4 hour time frame, all we're doing is doing two things here, right? We're marking the
Yeah.
start of the daily candle opening. So let's just say we're trading on a Wednesday, right? We're
Yeah.
gonna mark the daily opening of the Wednesday candle and the close
Okay.
of the daily time frame of the Wednesday candle, right? So this is the opening of the Wednesday candle, this is the
Okay.
closing of the Wednesday candle,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Why do we do that? This
Okay.
helps us, focus on specific, time, right? Because time is overpriced, right?
Yeah,
This helps us, okay,
exactly.
this is where we're looking at. This is where we are at a specific price point, right? So now
Yeah.
once we mark this, we're marking out the sessions here now. So now we're gonna go mark out the session. We're
Okay.
gonna go to the, what session do you trade? Do you trade London session, New York session, or what?
The London and New York.
All
I
right, so
look at
it's
both.
London session, New York session, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark
Yeah.
the 2 a.m. and
Okay.
the actually not 2 a.m. I mean 3 a.m. because the 3 a.m. is goes
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna mark out the 6 a.m. and as well
Okay.
I'm gonna mark out the 10:30 a.m. because 6 to 10:30 is the Pacific time purge, right? And as well as this 3
Yeah.
a.m. is the is the
Yeah.
silver bullet kill zone for ICT, right? So now
Yes,
what we're
exactly.
doing is we're not gonna trade Edison, so we're gonna let Edison play out here.
Okay.
Boom, plays out. I don't think there was a session here. I don't think there was a trade here, but the next session there was a trade here. I think there was a trade on the fucking what do you call it on the Edison on London session as well, right? So for me, I had a
Okay.
trade on the London session and as well on the fucking New York session, right? To
Yeah,
Tuesday.
okay.
So all we're doing is now that 17 o'clock 4 hour candle ended and the 21 o'clock 4 hour candle ended. Now we're waiting till 3 a.m. So you know how the market for the 4 hour candle of the I1 AM CRT has couple, has like 3 hours to play out, right? So now you gather more data to 3 a.m., right? So now we go to the lower
Yes.
time frame. Now we're gonna mark out the CRT high, CRT low, and CRT high here, right?
Yes.
So now
Exactly.
what else we're gonna do is gonna mark out this. Now this is when we're gonna look for a fucking context narrative, right? So now we're gonna look for a key level here, right? So we're gonna mark our key level.
Okay.
Okay, so what else do we see here? Is the order flow bearish, bullish? What is it?
The order flow is bullish.
Yeah, the order flow is bullish, right? So you have a bullish order flow. You have a 4-hour key level.
Yeah.
You're looking to execute on as far as CRT. You have a
Exactly.
what else you have? You have like other some other key level. It doesn't really matter, right? All that matters, you have a key level. You have a narrative, right? In this
Exactly.
case, the narrative is already here. What's the narrative to you?
So the narrative is like the higher time from drawn
Yep,
liquidity
yep. The higher
is
time
up.
frame,
Up.
like lower
Yeah.
time frame. Usually, you want to look for a narrative in the lower time frame, but guess what? The higher time frame is giving us so much narrative that the higher time frame literally confirmed everything here, right? And in daily time frame, go daily time
Yeah.
frame right over here, right? The daily right over here, you can see we had a daily IRL to ERL play as well, right? So now go to the 4-hour time
Exactly.
frame once again. We're gonna wait
Okay.
till this 3 a.m., right? So you say we see how we marked out the 3 a.m. candle right over here, 3 a.m. We're gonna first
Yes.
let the
Yes.
first two candles play out here. First candle,
Okay.
second candle. So at 3 a.m. is when we're looking to take a trade here, right? So this is when 3 a.m. comes around.
Okay.
So our CRT high got pressed. So we're bullish here, right? So we don't want to be taking a trade, you know, we're not gonna be taking a trade unless they purge out CRT low, right? So you see, in this case, this is a double
Yeah.
purge as well. This is a double purge in
Double
CRT,
purge.
right? So market first
Yeah.
purge on CRT high, CRT low. So the only way since we're bullish, the only way we can execute is once the CRT low gets souped and tap the key level. So the key level got tapped and the CRT low got tapped, right? So
Okay.
now we're waiting
Yeah.
until
Exactly.
we're still here with the next candle gonna be 3 a.m. counter, right? So we're gonna let the 3 a.m. counter play
Yes.
here. Now let's go to the lower time, 15-minute time from here, right?
Okay.
So if I play the next bar here, it's going to 3 a.m. counter. You see the 3 a.m. counter straight away went downside because it's a kill zone, right? It's a New York silver
Yeah.
bullet. I mean, it's a London silver bullet kill zone, right? So you can see next session,
London.
this
Yeah.
candle started fucking acting up here, right? It's you see
Yeah.
how this candle's pushed straight to the drone where it's supposed to go,
Oh.
right?
Okay.
So now all we're doing is
Yes.
letting the next candle play. Okay, so now you can see the low got souped here, right? The low got souped.
Okay.
Now this is when
Okay.
we're looking to take a
Yes.
trade here
Yes.
now, right? This is when we're looking to take a trade now. Well, look at the time here. The time is 4 a.m., right? And the purge of the CRT must happen between 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., right? This purge happened right on 3 a.m. You can
Exactly.
see 3 a.m.
Oh
candle purge
yeah.
out the CRT. So we're looking to trade until 5 a.m. because the CRT got respected, right? We had the right time to purge, but
Exactly.
we didn't have the entry yet. So we're still
Yes.
looking to take a trade until the market gets the confirmation. So now we're gonna look for a model one, right?
Okay.
You know what model one is, right?
The model one is the order
Yep,
block
auto
one.
block. Yep. So you can see this is our
Yeah.
model one. Looking for this candle to get confirmed here, right? So now let's play the next
Exactly.
candle. This does not confirm. You can see how the next candle doesn't confirm. It doesn't close above it.
Yeah. It
So we're
doesn't.
now
It
waiting
doesn't.
for the next
Yeah.
candle to confirm it here, right? Next candle
Okay.
confirmed it, but now once we have the confirmation, all we're doing is setting a trade here. So you don't have to set a limit order because limit order usually will mess you up, right? Because this broker is different than your fucking profit broker, right? So you're gonna have different type of entries,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Which that will mess up with your
Exactly.
trades. So just go based on the trading view. Because trading view, you must always trust trading view more than your profit. Because profit are built to fuck you up, right?
Okay. Oh yeah.
So
Exactly.
you see right over here. So your first take profit will be just here. This will be your first and final take profit, right? Going for a 3 RR right over here, right? So
Okay.
you're
Yes.
waiting. So once the market taps this, you enter the trade. You put your stop loss right below here. You're not gonna put your stop loss down here or here or here. You're gonna put it right below the order block. Why? Because this order block is a total soup. So for a
Oh yeah.
order block entry, your entry right over here, you can see is your OTE. Your stop loss is the total soup. You know what OTE is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know.
OTE could market could possibly retrace to market could possibly
Oh yeah.
retrace to it a couple of times, right? So you don't want to break even. So your
Exactly.
stop loss, if your entry is the OTE, your stop loss is the total soup. You can see it's a stop loss is the total soup, right?
Oh yeah.
Right, if you
Yeah.
just is your
I
stop
get
loss
it.
is total soup, entry is the OTE. So once the market taps this, you're looking to
Okay.
execute a trade. Eventually entry here, take profit here, and stop loss right over here, right? So now the next candle. It doesn't do nothing, right? It just closes up. But guess what? You're still looking to take the trade. Although the 4 a.m. candle, you can see the 4 a.m. candle ended, right? But it's still looking to take a trade.
Yeah.
Why? Because you can see the low right over here. Got the CRT got respected. You can see how it got a closure above with a modern one confirmation,
Oh yeah.
right? So he's still looking to take this
Exactly.
trade regardless of it, not giving a setup during that specific duration, right? So now when the
Okay.
market taps it, now you're in this trade here, right? And this trade, where do you think you would have entered
Yeah.
the trade out of? Where would you enter the trade out of? The model one, the rejection block, or what?
I think it's model number 1.
Yes, but there's varies of model one. Romeo talks about it, but he doesn't have to give out a hint, right? But
Yeah.
there's scenarios of model one. Will you enter out of this
Okay.
end part of the model one? Will you enter out of the threshold or the actual model one over here? This is rejection block, by the way.
What?
This is rejection block. So would you enter out of the rejection block, the 50%
Okay.
mark of the threshold of the order block, or the order block itself?
I think the 50%.
No, but you think deeply. If the only time you see, the only time you take the only time you take the 50% mark, if there's a big candle, is this candle big and thick candle? No, right?
No.
So what's the
Yeah.
next option you can take? There's only 2 other options you can take.
The rejection block.
Yep. Why the rejection block?
Because the candle body is like the
See how
short
the
body is
you're right.
like a
See how the wick is overtaking the body?
Yeah.
And you see how the market
Exactly,
tapped it and had a sensitive position right straight out of it, right? So instead of us entering out of here, we're gonna be smarter and enter out of the threshold, right? This is a new way of entering. This is even me. I'm learning this about it right now, right? My recent trade right over here. You can see that this is right here is my trade, right? That I actually took.
Okay.
So the reason I didn't take this
Yeah.
trade because I don't trade London session, right? But New York session, I still got the trade. It's
Oh.
the same trade, right? I used the Alice here to get the trade, right? You can see there's there's gonna be chances you're gonna enter the trade, right? But let's get straight into the example, right? I'm snapping so fucking much. Hold up. Ready? So you're entering the
Yeah.
rejection block because of the fucking wick is overtaking the body, right? You can see the wick is overtaking the body here.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
you can enter out of the rejection block. But the only time you can ever enter out of the rejection block is when the order block is confirmed. Was the order block confirmed?
Okay.
Right? It was confirmed, right? So you can
Yes.
enter out the rejection block.
Yes,
You
confirmed.
never enter out of the rejection block without the order block being confirmed and without having the right order block. There's scenarios of order block as well, by the way. So I'm gonna take the highest probably the order
Okay.
block, which either has a consecutive candle closure or a full candle closure, right? So
Yeah. Okay, I get it.
in
Yeah.
this case, you're going to take the it's the modern one's confirmed, so you can take it out of the rejection block, right? You can see you got the rejection block entry here.
Rejection. Yeah,
and
exactly.
no, you take profit here, stop loss here. So instead of us going here making less, now we're going over here making more. We're making a 4.5 RR instead of
Oh.
making a 3 RR, right?
Okay.
So entry
Yeah,
there,
exactly.
stop loss here, and take profit
Okay.
one. But the only way you can enter out of this is first of all scenario. Second of all, the model one must be confirmed. The model one confirmed, and have
Yes.
a perfect scenario for this entry, right? So enter the trade.
Yes.
See how the market instantly reflect out of your entry, put up higher.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
market you
yeah.
can see you eventually fucked around a little bit and eventually did hit take profit here, right? You can see if you go up higher, boom. You can see how why the price moved around away from here. Because the CRT, first of all, right? Second of all, is
CRT was but
second of all, our take profit should have been all over here. You can see how take profit should have been all over here because the higher time frame.
yeah.
But you're not gonna go there because logical reasoning, right? Because nothing is random here, right? Because this day was Wednesday, right? The next day was CPI, right? So CPI was going to be the one to perform, right? Perform the market move, right? So this is Wednesday. So Wednesday is going to be used as a way for it to go for a realistic profit. So you don't want to go for such a far take profit. You just want to use Thursday as a way to make a little bit make your profit get out. But Thursday is gonna be the one to perform because Thursday is CPI, right? So you go over here, make your money, you're out, right? See how you made a 4.5 RR here?
Yeah.
And my trade was all over here for a 3.1 RR, right? Even my trade, I should have taken out the rejection block here, right? You can see I took out the 50%, but guess what? You learn, right? But you can see right over here. My entry should have been the rejection block as well, right? You can see my entry right over here. entry happened
Yeah,
over
I see
there,
that.
but it's supposed to be at the resistance block, right?
Oh, I see that.
See how
I
the
see
resistance
that.
block is
Okay.
overtaking the body, but the only time we can take the
Yeah,
resistance block if the Model 1 is confirmed, right? In this case, the Model 1 was confirmed, and we
confirm.
can take out the resistance block because the resistance block is overtaking the, I'm saying, the body of these candles, right?
Exactly, exactly.
So yeah, that's that as well. So now, do you learn? Did you get anything out of this?
Yeah, exactly. 100%. One question. So we are looking at entries on the 5 and 15, right?
Yeah. So if you have a 4 hour CRT, you know, a 15-minute Model 1. If you have an hourly CRT, you're gonna look for a 5 minute. When I entered my trade, I entered at the 5 minute, right? Because I had an hourly CRT, right? When you enter your trade,
Oh,
it was out of the 15 minute because you have a 4 hour CRT, right?
okay, okay. And can you show me your 1 hour CRT execution?
Yep. You can
The
see this is the one
one you
hourly
took.
CRT.
Yeah.
So for me, since I don't trade London session, right? I trade New York. So
Okay.
now I use London session
Okay.
as even more confluence here. So London session, what do I have here? Okay, let me see what I have London session, right? So let's just act like I trade.
Yeah.
Let's just act like I'm gonna take this trade here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So now for me, I only take trades for a near continuation. I only take trades between 7 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Right? So 7 a.m. we went to 7 a.m. right
Okay.
over here, and we're looking to execute a trade here, right? So
Yeah.
now I have way more data because the London session just played out, right? So since the London session just
Exactly.
played out, we're going to use the London session as a confluence for me to what do you call it, to give you more confidence to the trade or to give you more narrative, right? So now
Exactly.
we're gonna go since
Okay.
we have the same high time and drawn liquidity here. We're gonna use the 4 hour as a more context here. And the 4 hour time frame we have here, a 4 hour, you know, now we have a confirmation of 4 hour IRL, which is the IRL to ERL, as
Yeah.
well as that we have a confirmation
Exactly.
of 4 hour key level. Now we have additional
Hello.
confluence here, right? If we go to the 15-minute time frame or 5 minute, right? We have a
Yeah.
OTE
Yeah.
here. You know what OTE is?
Yeah. I do know optimal trade entry.
Yep. So, oh no, no, that's not that.
Yeah.
It's a deep retracement takes care of traders within the right side of the market, right? So for OTE,
Okay.
market made a low, a high, a lower low, a higher high. So now we have an OTE confirmation, right? Because for a new continuation,
Oh.
there's
Okay.
always going to be an OTE. If there's, I mean, there's not always going to be OTE there, but high chance of an OTE. If the 4 hour,
Okay.
if the previous session, London session, choose out the session high or low, that's definitely going to be an OTE there, right? Because for a New York session,
Okay. Yeah.
what New York does is it continues, right? Because they call it New York continuation, right? See how the market continues to the
Oh.
upside,
Yeah.
right?
Continue the upside.
Since
Yeah.
it's gonna continue, you need to do a little retracement, which is the OTE, right? So now what do we have?
Okay.
How is our OTE? Because this is our CRT over here as well. So
Okay.
low, high, lower low, higher high. We close above it. Now we're
Uh-huh.
gonna take it from here to here. Now this is our
Okay.
OTE, right? So 50% mark all down here is our OT here, right? So we can only execute OTE
Okay.
once the 0.50% mark gets tapped. You can see now we have way more confidence, right? We let the lesson play out.
Yeah.
So now we have a outlet CRT as well. It says for a near continuation, you can only trade, for a near continuation, you can only trade between 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. if you let the same candle play out. Same candle play out, made a
Mm,
bearish candle. Now all we're doing is using that
exactly.
6 a.m. candle as a CRT, right? Or whatever candle is a big candle in the
Yeah.
hourly time frame. Right? In this case, this candle is our biggest candle, right? So we
Big.
mark out
Yeah.
the low, the high, and eventually our John Luke is right over here as well, right? So
Oh. Yeah.
now
Okay.
we're gonna wait until I'm saying the low gets purged here, right?
Low. Yeah. The low at first.
The low got purged. Well, we can see how the low got purged
Yeah.
instantly went up
Oh.
higher.
Perfect.
So our Monroe one
Oh.
is right over here. It's our
Mm.
order block right over here.
Yeah. Exactly.
And our stop loss is going to be here. So since this one over here, if I enter the trade out of here, look how much I'm making the same take profit here, right? First same take profit, I'm making
Yeah.
a 1.8 RR. Do I want that?
Uh. Uh. No, you would
Oh,
want
why?
to
Why not? Because as you know, RR is king in trading, right? RR is always going to be king, right?
exactly.
Because if you don't
Exactly.
have the right
Exactly.
RR, you're not going to be profitable, right? So he offers 1.8 RR.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take that. But me personally, I took it out the threshold. But even the threshold was not a good entry. You know why? Because the resistance block was the actual entry. Because the resistance block right over here was overtaking the fucking
Oh. Okay.
body here, right? So
Yeah. The
that
body here. Yeah.
I'll be right back. I gotta go open the door for my sibling here. Right back. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sure. 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 Sure.
1 second.
No worries.
All right, I'm back. I have to be somewhere right now, but
Yeah,
let me
no
do another
worries, no
quick
worries.
example. But you can see how we enter the registration block right over here, right? Entry there, stop loss here, take profit one over
Exactly.
here, right? First take profit is gonna be the hour
Yep.
CRT. The second take profit is gonna be the
Yeah.
4 hour CRT, right? The same strong liquidity we have here,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
See
Yeah, right.
that played out.
Mhm.
It took a lot of time because the fucking G was acting
Yeah,
up, right? So to hit take profit just like that.
exactly. Oh, perfect, perfect.
But yeah,
Yeah,
this is
right.
it because I gotta I just gotta go somewhere, right? So
No worries, no worries. Thank you so much for your time,
is
and
this good
I
enough
actually
for
learned a
you?
lot. Yeah, yeah, that's good enough. And I'll actually watch the boot camp you were talking about.
Yeah, the bootcamp. I'll share the link right now for you. But yeah,
Yeah, you just
I will be right
yeah,
back. Okay. I mean, not right back. I'll see you later. All right.
yeah,
Have a good
yeah,
day.
yeah. Thank you so
I
much for
gotta
your
be right.
time. Thank you
I
so
gotta go
much for your
somewhere. I'll be
time.
right back. All right, peace out, chat.
Yeah, okay, sure, sure.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
Peace.
take care, take care,
Yep.
take care.
Take care. All right, chat. I'll be right back. Hold on. But as a recording, quick recording session with a Discord member. If you want to take one session, you could take as well. But it will be recorded for our educational purposes. I gotta go, be somewhere real quick. I'll be right back. I have to come back in a couple minutes, so I'll be right back, chat. I'll be right back. But chat, the stream is still gonna run, okay? The stream is still gonna run. I'll be right back. All right. I'll be right back. I'm back. Sorry, chat. I'm sorry for the wait. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry, mate. Okay. All right, chat. I'm back. Oh, my glasses, bro. My nerdy glasses, bro. I got no ass. Alright, let's log it back in. Hey, we got the nerdy glasses back on. So we log back in, brother. You know what I mean? Brother. Brother. Oh, let me share the bootcamp to this guy. Hey, yo, baby, what's here? What's up? What's good, chat? I don't know. I just came back. Yo, what's good? Hey, yo, how are you? I was listening to your live study. You scared me when you we talk again. Oh, my bad, my boy, brother, my bad. I just came back. I had to go drop something off, which was fucking 30 minutes, like 10 minutes away. I'm back. My bad, more. My bad, bro. No, my bad for scaring you, man. I'm sorry, man. Forgive me, man. Forgive me, brother. Forgive me, brother. Hey, I got that Jamaican accent, chat. I got that Jamaican. Oh, chat. We're back. Hold on, let me go share the thing to the to the guy I just had one-on-one session with. Here's the. All right, chat. My boy Bruno, how you doing, Bruno? Chat, we're gonna be going over the week. I just had a one-off session. I'm sorry for that. That one session was like a 40-minute long, though. It was 40-minute long. Okay, how long was it?
Hey, bro, can you hear me?
It was 43 minutes long. Okay.
Yo, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. How you doing, my brother? How you doing? How's Pakistan, man?
I'm good. I'm good,
Yes, you're
man.
good. Hell yeah, my
Pakistan's
boy
good. Pakistan's good.
Bruno. You always good, man. You're the market maker, man. You never fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Never fucked up, man. Never fucked up. All right, y'all, let's go over the week. Pretty amazing week. The one-on-one shit was kind of bad because I was kind of busy, but it is what it is, man. Let me chat with me. Oh, Portugal. Shout out to the Portuguese. All right. Let's get straight into it. So I'm gonna do a quick market recap. We're gonna do the market forecast. So what I think we're gonna head to, and yeah, let's get straight into it. Right, without wasting any time here. So I'll make a video real quick and eventually upload it as well. So shit, here we go. We got it. Actually, I ended up on a negative this week. Yeah, all right. This is how I ended up making negative 1RR day trading EURUSD. This is my weekly market recap. This week is supposed to be end up in a profit because we had a CPI trade as well as a Wednesday trade supposed to be a 3R plus and it's supposed to be a 4R plus. Supposed to end up in a week on a 5RR, but guess what? We made some mistakes. Okay, the CPI trade we missed it out, but on the other trade we had, we went for a wrong take profit. So let's talk about it, right? We're gonna talk about it. Don't worry, no worries. Right, let's get straight into it. Monday is where we had a very beautiful loss here. A very beautiful loss on a Monday. Not sure what that. Okay, that recording was ass. Holy, hold on. Let me lock in, chat. Let me lock in. For these glasses, bro, make me look like a fucking nerd, bro. Am I a nerd, chat? I don't know, bro. Holy, I just took a shower, so my hair is clapped. Holy, chat. Oh my goodness. Somebody saved me from existence, bro. Bro, I gotta wear a hoodie on it, bit. You know what I'm saying? Do I got a hat on it, bit? Alright, we got something on it, bit. A hoodie. Hey. Tight shit. Hey, some new shit. 2028. Shit. Look better though, right? Hey, I got a hoodie without a hood. I got a hoodie without the shirt. Alright, that was so fucking corny, bro. Alright, let me zip it up. Like a jail to me. Fuck, do you zip it up? Alright, like this. Let me zip this shit up, okay? Let me like this straight then. Alright, so we're locked in. Let's get straight into it. Bomba clat. Alright. Alright, let's lock in. This is how I ended up on a week with a. See, chat? I gotta retake the video multiple times, man, because my ass stutters too hard, man. I forget what I'm saying, because I don't have nothing. I don't plan it, okay? I just say what on my mind, you know what I'm saying? So I'm have to record sometimes. Okay, so let's lock in. Nerdy glasses on. This is how I ended up on a negative 1R a week, a trading EURUSD. Mike his ass, bro. Mike can't even hear. Can you hear me? Mike wasn't working, chat. Holy, bro. What the fuck, man? Hold on, let me see my mic. Sound. Recording, sound, 75. Okay, so that's why. Now can you hear me? Now you can hear me. Okay. All right, chat. Let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into the weekly market recap and go to market forecast to see what's up with the market or market high likely go to. Oh no, that's some gay shit, man. I'm not a girl, bro. What the fuck? Hold on, let me get like something like, you know what I'm saying? Some gay shit, you know what I'm saying? Let me hide that real quick because that shit. Oh, you looking clapped. Hell no, I'm looking for. Oh, hell no. But I be back like dick, huh? Alright, let's lock in. Alright, let's lock in. Let's lock in. We're locked in. We're locked in. This is how I ended up on a negative 1RR week, day trading EURUSD. This week was very interesting week, which we made a couple of mistakes. Okay, so we only made one mistake this whole week, but our profits, even our profit, we made a mistake. I think we got a little greedy. It was not that we got greedy; it's just that we're not aware. We didn't have the awareness to know. Okay, all right, okay, fuck. Once again. Because I can't talk about that straight away. I have to wait. Okay. This is how I end up in a negative 1RR trading euro. Oh my goodness. This is the week, bro. If I fuck it up one more time, I might let it stream. This is how I ended up on a negative 1RR day trading. Okay. I said it's supposed to be a week. This is how I ended up on a negative 1RR week day trading Euro USD. This week was very interesting week, very listenable week. We extracted a lot of lesson out of this week, right? On Monday we had a beautiful loss, right? Let's go a quick glimpse into what's happened out the week, which why we ended up a negative 1RR. We're supposed to be ending up on a 7RR gain, right? But we're gonna talk about it, right? Right over here. On a Monday, it was a beautiful loss. Tuesday, we had a setup which was a loss, but we had another setup which was actually a good setup to the downside. But that setup throughout the whole day, my bias was, it's not that my bias wrong. I went based on the feelings inside the market. I traded the feeling inside of the chart, right? Market does not care about our feelings, does not care about how we feel like. It cares about the chart and the data, not our feelings, right? So Tuesday, my bias is supposed to still be bullish, but I was bearish because I felt like it's not getting respected, so I went bearish. But guess what? Market does not care about my feelings, right? On a Wednesday, it was a beautiful trade. We made back the Tuesday loss, but we didn't make back the Monday loss. But the Tuesday trade, the Wednesday trade was a beautiful trade, 3.2RR trade. It's supposed to be like a 4RR. We're gonna talk about that as well. We're gonna be talking about a new way of entering the market using rejection block entries, right? And next thing is that trade we only made 1RR. It's supposed to be a 3.2RR, but we only milked 1RR. Why? We're gonna talk about that as well because I feel like it's not the greedy part. It's just that we didn't have enough awareness, right? Okay, it's Tuesday. It's Wednesday. Next day is CPI. CPI is highly likely to be the one to perform, and guess what? CPI was the one to perform here, right? CPI pushed the market to the drawn liquidity. So the next day before it is probably gonna be an OTE, shit like that, right? So on Thursday we had our next setup, which we missed because we were now focused and we didn't check DXY for SMT because I forgot that SMT is meant to be for GU and DXY to look for SMTs, right? Because SMT can't just happen on GU. It can also happen on DXY, right? So we'll talk about that as well. But let's get straight into it, right? Like if you give us a quick glimpse, Friday looks no trade, just a market recap, say, right? Now we'll get straight into it, to the, I'm saying, top down analysis to every trade and talk about it, right? So let's get straight into it. On Monday, right, if you see Monday trade right over here, on the Monday trade, we had a daily IRL, right, to ERL, daily CRT to the upside, daily discount leaders got met, so we're going to do it in Chai as well. We had that was all. That was enough for me to take this trade. So now let's go to lower time frame to take the trade right over here. We were looking for that New York. So Monday we had SMT. The slow had SMT with these lows, right? So we had some divergence, right, with the kilo, which is the rejection block, as well as we had a CRT here. We as well had fucking a 1 a.m. CRT. So we're looking for a near continuation, right? That's what we had. Eventually we're looking to execute this trade here. It was a lower time frame to the 15-minute. It was not that big. It was a beautiful loss here, right? So we had a CRT here, right? This is our CRT. As you guys know, we only prioritize CRT. We only prioritize SMT with the CRT. So since both the pair prioritize the CRT low, we didn't care with the SMT, but we did have SMT with these lows, right? But you can see right over here, but we did have a what do you call it, a prioritize those lows. This right over here, this purge happened around not at the perfect time, right? The timing of the purge of a CRT for a 4-hour candle is meant to be around 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. We had a purge around what? 5:30. So we're looking for a 6 a.m. pressure between 10:30 a.m. So the market went back down and gave us that, that confirmation, right? Market closed above, right back above it, right? You can see it over here, goes right back above it, giving us that one more confirmation. We entered out the marble, we entered the threshold, because the body was overtaking the body was fat, right? Kind of fat, bulky candle. So I entered out the threshold right over here. Let's see, and once I entered the threshold, entry there, stop loss here, right? Take profit 1 and eventually take profit 2, take profit 3 right over there, right? Which just when I entered on loss, which is a beautiful loss. I didn't make any mistake off low almost. I built good habits. I'm satisfied from this loss because I built good habits, right? It's just a part of BT loss, right? Now going on to Tuesday. Tuesday, same analysis on high time frame, same thing. Everything is the same, right? On Tuesday, right? But I took a short, right? The shorting, even the shorting, there was a lesson on the shorting position here, right? The shorting position, the lesson out of the shorting position was that, there's multiple lessons of the shorting position, right? But the reason we took a short here, I felt like it was going to go down lower and disrespect the SMT. So I predetermined that's gonna go in a lot. It's gonna disrespect it, while the market showing no signs of it getting respected. All of the market goes all the here, it ticks it, and it doesn't get souped. It's still respected here, right? So I felt like it's gonna get disrespected. So I thought I was looking for a short opportunity here, right? So I went based on my feelings, and I was looking for a near continuation to the downside, which we had right over here. Boom, near continuation to the downside right over here. Took a short, and eventually you can see that won a loss. But this is supposed to be our actual shorting position, right? Which we should have profit out of, right? But we took this trade. We didn't take this trade because of the one trade position rule, right? So we had a near continuation. Near continuation. We had a sell order eventually that went in a loss. You can see right over here if we go to the time frame, 5-minute time for the execution. See the 5-minute time frame when we execute the trade, which was this big bulky candle, right? We should have entered at the threshold, but it was all fine as of right now. There's multiple lessons as I said here, right? So we entered right over here, stop loss here, and then we're in a loss, right? So now let's go over the lesson of this loss. And the actual trade is supposed to be this right over here. Although our bias was wrong, our actual trade to the downside, even if we based out of the feelings, supposed to be this trade right over here, right? You see now, let's go over the lesson. What is the lesson out of this trade? The lesson is body, the candle's way too big of a candle. I should have entered the threshold here, right? So if the candle is too fat, I must always enter out of the threshold. If the body of the order block marble 1 is too fat, I must always enter the threshold, right? So in this case, we're supposed to enter there, but we entered over here, giving us less RR here, right? So entry is supposed to be here, even when we're going to loss. And the next lesson is for a near continuation. If there's an OTE, I can only execute my trade. Execution only occurs between 0.50% mark of the OTE to 0.886 mark of the OTE, right? In this case, we executed before the 0.50% mark or the 0.86 mark to get tapped, right? So we entered, too early. I was waiting for the market to go down, right? I was shorted the market, and eventually when market went up higher, I second guessed it, and market went down lower, right? So the lesson is for a near continuation, if there's an OTE, I must only execute once the 0.50% mark to 0.86 mark is tapped for an OTE, right? If the 0.50% mark doesn't get tapped and I have a shorting position or a long position before that gets tapped, I will not execute the trade. I will stay in the sidelines until the 0.50% mark to the 0.88 mark to the 0.886 mark gets tapped, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't execute. Why? Because it's a repeat, right? This is we're shorting too early here, right? We're selling in a discount, right? So over here we're selling in a discount, we're selling in a premium. Over here we're selling in a discount, right? You do not want to sell in a discount. want to sell in premium, right? So when I buy in discount, sell in premium. Over here want to buy, over here want to sell, right? So we're gonna sell on discount, boom, and this one give it the right model one. Confirm the, you know what I'm saying, hourly CRT right over here. Eventually you can see market eventually went down lower. Then I drawn liquidity, which was our CRT was still this hourly CRT throughout the whole time here, right? Of the Tuesday shorting position here, right? Our CRT was still relatively this candle because before this 8 a.m. candle ended, there was a confirmation to the CRT there, right? Eventually, our actual trade on Tuesday to the upside is meant to be around here at a 4 CRT, right? We had looking for a Neo Carosa profile too, but if you can see the execution over here on this, the Monroe 1 wasn't the right Model 1, so I would have not taken a trade because of the Model 1 not being the right Monroe 1. But otherwise, this was a beautiful start upside, but did not have the right Model 1, so I couldn't execute it, right? But the shorting position, the lesson of the shorting position is I trade the chart and the data, not my feelings. The market not care about my feelings. I trade the chart and the data, not my PNL. I only execute if there's an OT free negotiation between 0.50% mark to 0.86 mark. If I have entry before 0.50% mark, 0.50% mark to 0.86 mark gets tapped, I will not execute a trade and wait till then, or not even take a trade the whole day, because I want to focus on the highest probably setup. The highest probably setup occurs during that specific time, because OT starts up the next leg of the move. First leg, second leg, right? Eventually my boss was wrong, but you know, saying first leg, second leg, right? Just like example to you guys. Now let's go over the Wednesday trade where we made only one RR. It's supposed to be a DRR, but yeah, we're gonna talk about it as well. So on Wednesday, same thing again here. Daily IRL, day to the upside. We as well had a, you know, this company got tapped on the range high. Or we had way more narrative, by the way. We had our other narrative could have been, you know what I'm saying, we had a daily range here in the lower time frame. This company got tagged on the range high, right? And it's all we had. We had a bullish order flow, we had a 4 key level to the upside for our IRL to ERL, right? So now let's go down to the lower time frame and, you know, look for the execution of the Wednesday trade. This right over here, it was our London session trade, but this trade over here is supposed to be for somebody else, not for me, right? I had a one-on-one session, which was some you know, Discord ETU members with the family, right, for free. Want to do that as well? We could, you know, schedule up a appointment for free for limited time only, right? So right over here, we can see it over here. As you guys know, I don't trade London session. I only trade New York session, right? So for London session, right over here, there was a setup, but for New York session as well, you can see right over here, we did have a setup right here as well. Looking for a New York continuation. If I'm bullish, I would want the agent to make the low day, not the high day. In this case, agent made the low day, so looking for a New York continuation. So we had a CRT right over here. But at 6 a.m. is our CRT, 7 a.m. project CRT low, and CRT high right over here, right? And for this, and as you guys know, for a New York continuation, we can only execute between 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., not any time before that, right? So now let's go to the lower time frame for the hourly CRT confirmation, hourly CRT trade. And keep in mind, throughout the whole week, we had the same analysis paralysis, right? Except Tuesday, because we messed up our feelings, but you know, Tuesday's supposed to be the same analysis paralysis to the upside, but you know what I'm saying, we made some mistake. But we learn from it, right? We all, as long as there's a lesson to extract from it, that's all that matters, right? So on, you know, on the once at 6 a.m. candle low gets souped, 6 a.m. CRT got souped, the LCT low got souped, so we're gonna LCT high and eventually to the other high right here. On this case, when I entered the trade, I was looking to go all the way to this high, thus why I only made one RR, right? Because 10% partial, 30% partial, right? 40%, 40%, 40%. So only partial 40% out of 3 RR, which fucking is only 1 RR, right? Not that much, right? So now over here, when the CRT low got suit, boom, there's a legit low here, got a model 1 confirmation right over here, right? Got the model 1 confirmation, and then as well, you know, for this model 1 confirmation, I personally did not execute out of the rejection block. I executed out of the older 50% mark, you know, 50% mark of the order block right over here. Why? Because the, you know, the Model 1 over here did not offer too much RR, and the body was overtaking the wick over here of this, you know, this candle right over. You can see it was overtaking the high of the Model 1 wick, right? The only time we take the threshold is if the body right over here is overtaking this wick, this, you know, this upside wick. In this case, is a bullish order block, right? So is if the you know, upside wick is small and the body is bigger than the, you know, wick, we're gonna be taking, you know, the fucking threshold, right? In this case, we take a threshold, stop loss entry there, stop loss here, take profit 1, take profit 2, right? And eventually, these were not my meant to be. These are not meant to be on my take profit, but I did go for them as a take profit. I'll talk about why I should have only gone for this high as my take profit, right? We're gonna be talking about why. Before that, our actual execution entry should have been out of the threshold. Our actual execution should have been out of our rejection block right over here. The rejection block should have been our actual execution. Why? Because the rejection block gave us there because the wick was overtaking the body here, right? Because the wick is bigger than the body, so we could have entered the wick, entry there, could enter the rejection block, entry there, stop loss here, take profit 1, take profit 2. Now this one, instead of making only what a 3.1 RR, we could have made a fucking 4.9 RR of this trade. Right? We could have made way more, right? But it's a next lesson as well. And even on our even on our London session trade, we had what? On our London session trade, we had a rejection block entry there, stop loss here. Why the rejection block entry? Because the wick has overtaken the body, so we can enter out the rejection block here, right? So into the rejection block, right? Stop loss right below this. Take profit 1, same here, same take profit here, right? So now let's go over the lesson. Let's go over why we only made 1 RR. What was the lesson of this specific trade? The lesson of this specific trade is multiple things, right? We could have entered out of the, rejection block, right? We could have had way more awareness here. I know awareness is a big thing here, right? Why could we have had more awareness? It's because this day was Wednesday, right? Thursday is CPI, so CPI is highly likely to be the one that pushes to the drawn locator. Although CPI didn't do nothing, right? CPI didn't even do nothing. We just pushed up a little bit higher, right? It didn't do much. Like, guess what? What does CPI do? CPI brings volume into the market to push the market to draw liquidity, right? So since CPI is on Thursday, Wednesday is not gonna be a big day, right? Wednesday is gonna be a day just to go for a risk take profit, because the next day is going to be a actual day where the market moves to actual draw on liquidity, right? So Tuesday is going to be used as Wednesday can be used as as a startup, right? Just to go make your profits. Don't go for a risk take profit, because don't go for a risk take profit. Don't go for a risk take profit, because the next day CPI is gonna be the one to be performing well, because CPI is actual, CPI is brings on a lot of volume, so the market pushes up higher. Right? So CPI is the one to push the market to the draw liquidity faster, right? So the day before it, we want to go for a take profit. So you just want to have more awareness of that, right? We use our brain a little bit more, right? And if I were to enter the same trade right here on a Tuesday, would I care about the Thursday calling the actual move? No, because why would I not care? Simply because of I ensured that I didn't trade on Wednesday, because the day before it you have to go for a take profit, but this 2 days before it, right? So if I enter some trades over here and it starts all over here, I wouldn't really care about it, right? Because I know that the market is pushed to the downside, the OTE, right? Here's the OTE pushed up higher, right? So I wouldn't care for that trade on a Tuesday or a Monday. I could follow it up all the way till past Thursday, because I know, as you guys know, Thursday be the one to perform well, right? Because Thursday CPI is a big major news, right? But the day before you must go for risk take profit, because what I'm saying, as you guys know, because CPI is gonna be the one to perform it, right? So the day before you don't want to go for like a unrealistic profit, right? Although the take profit is not unrealistic, but what I'm saying, you want to maximize your profit, which is over here, which I only made 1 RR in this trade, by the way, right? So yeah, I'm supposed to make at least I'm supposed to make 3 RR, because that's my take profit supposed to be here, but I only made what? Again, 1 RR, right? Which only covered the yesterday's loss, right? On the Tuesday loss, didn't cover the Monday loss, but lesson, right? And eventually after that, we did have another entry here. You can see we did have another entry. We did have another trade later on the day for a OTE trade, right? OTE happened right over here. See, as you can see right over here, OTE happened to the downside. Eventually, what else do we had here after the OTE? We had a CRT, Alice CRT. We had a 5-minute model 1 confirmation. 5-minute model 1 confirmation. We enter the entry. Our entry is going to be not on the number 1. It's going to be right on the rejection block. Why the rejection block? Because the wick is overtaking the body here, right? So right through there. Stop loss here. You can see how resistance block entry, resistance block entry, resistance block entry, right? Why? Because the wick is overtaking the body. And that's the next thing we can have. The next thing we're going to have is I'm going to add a new rule of resistance block entries, right? I'm going to enter the trades out of resistance block, but the resistance block must be confirmed already. How does the resistance block is confirmed? By having the right model 1, right? And having the model 1 confirmed. So right over here, model 1 confirmed, the right model 1 as well, and eventually conversion happen. Entry could have been another resistance block, entry there, plus here, eventually the same take profit here, right? But this trade, you can see, well, you're saying, will it happen after the kill zone, right? Why are you taking this trade? This trade I didn't take it, by the way, just to let you guys know. But in the future, if there's something happen like this happens, I will be taking it, right? So why the trade still, valid for us to take this trade? Because of two things. Number one is this trade happened, all they happened after the kill zone. There was a lot of volume, right? Why? Because OFC meeting minutes came out, as well as there was a lot of big major news happening around the world, right? So since that's happening, we're valid to trade here, right? Because there was a lot of volume here. So how do you know to trade Edison or outside the kill zone? Is if there's big major news happening, like tariff, right? Tariff may cause a big move to the outside downside, right? Or a FOMC meetings, right? They cause a big ass push to the downside, or like any news that brings in volume to the market, right? When the market brings volume to the market, right? That means market is constantly moving here, right? So you're basically valid to trade because there's volume, right? So basically trading a session, right? Without trading a session, right? So this entry would have been the same thing here. Resistance block entry. Resistance block was confirmed by order block. The only way I'm ever going to enter that resistance block is if the order block is confirmed already. I will not be determined a resistance block, right? So now let's go over our Thursday trade, right? Thursday trade was a missed trade. We're going to be talking about as well, right? The Thursday trade, same analysis paralysis here, right? But the only new thing we had was a daily IRL right over here to ERL, right? But guess what? We still wait for these take profit. We're still looking for these as a drawn liquidity because daily range high, CRT high, and daily IR to here, right? Because you have drawn liquidity spawning all over here, right? So now let's go in the lower time frame, the hourly time frame to execute this trade here. Hourly time frame, we're looking for a near continuation. Our hourly key level is this hourly fair value gap. But SMT, without the key level, we had SMT with DXY. And now we go to the 5-minute time for the execution here. See the 5-minute time frame. Our execution would have been, right over here. Execution there and stop loss here. Take profit 1, take profit 2, right? Take profit 3, right? And you're probably wondering, well, why do you not go for this as the final take profit? Because it's Thursday and Friday, right? Thursday and Friday, you want to go for it to take profit. Although, this day, because CPI usually NFP CPI they push up and down too hard, so you want to go for a take profit, right, on Thursday and Friday. And Thursday and Friday are the days where you want to go, not for a very unrealistic take profit. You want to go for a take profit because the weekly candle has to go for a fair price, right? By the execution right over here, you can see this. Why we enter this case another model 1? Because you can see it's a perfect model 1. There's nothing is big, that's too small. It's a perfect scenario for a model 1 entry. So entry would be on the model 1, but over there, stop loss here, and take profit 1, take profit 3. Wondering, well, how did you miss the setup, T? How did you miss the setup? The CRT inner circle trader. The reason I missed the setup because I was not focused, right? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not going to fucking give you guys some insights, right? The reason I missed the setup was because I was not focused. I used my phone. But if I'm trading, my main focus should be trading. It should not be my phone. It should not be nothing but trading, right? If I'm doing anything, my main focus should be that, nothing else but that, right? So I'm gonna have laser focus, right? And the next lesson is I did not look at DXY as my SMT, right? I only look at GU usually as my SMT divergence. But as you guys know, DXY and EU are correlated. They have negative correlation. And EU and DXY and GU, they're all correlated, right? So the next lesson is when I'm looking for SMT divergence, I must monitor GU and DXY both at the same time. I can't just do GU. I can't just prioritize one over other, right? I must prioritize both, right? But you should always prioritize DXY over GU because DXY moves the same opposite way as EU, right? But I will always, from now on forward, look at GU and DXY. The next day, I was constantly monitoring DXY and GU, but there was no shares here, right? So now that was the lesson. That was the lesson of Thursday. Whereas the lesson of Thursday is have focus. If I'm trading, I should not be my phone. I should probably be be focused on trading, nothing else, right? And the next lesson is I should be monitoring DXY and GU for S&P divergence trades, right? Because usually I will start to have S&P divergence, right? So I will monitor DXY and GU as an S&P divergence, right? Even on a winter trade, you can see in a winter trade right over here, there was a S&P divergence to keep in mind. Didn't have a S&P divergence with these lows, so these lows were protected as well. And eventually got disrespected because Wednesday, so the next is gonna perform, right? So this is a big OT to the downside. Definitely went up higher from here, right? So yeah, why don't I go for this on my take profit on a Thursday trade? Because time over price, because market needs to go to the fair price. I thought the market gonna go wick it out, go back down. You can see my theory was kind of correct, right? It hit a drawn liquidity, it came right back down, gave us bearish Russian, right? Eventually went right back up. There was a EU and China negotiations about lowering tariffs on electric vehicles, so that's why probably market had a big fall to the upside, right? But yeah, I was just gonna go over here and take profit because these two take profit were kind of near each other, so it made sense for it to go over right here as my hours are first and final take profit. Why? Because it's Thursday and Friday, right? When we go for a take profit. And the lesson is have laser focus and monitor both GU and DXY for S&P divergence trades, right? All right, now we'll go Friday. Friday didn't much happen, right? We just ran out of time, right? Same Friday. We had a same buy to the upside here. Our drone looking with the 14.90.50 because there's a 6 month CFD high over there, right? So looking to go over there, but I'm saying market retraced. And timing of the purge ran out, which was supposed to be between you know, it's supposed to be between 9 a.m. to 30 a.m. right with the time right now. So, I'm done for the day right over there. Right, time to press right now. So I'm done for the day. But yeah, thank you for watching. Just actually, just a quick recap before we ended the trade, before we ended off the fucking, I'm saying the weekly market recap of how I ended up on a negative 1R, right? The recap is build good habits and gain satisfaction from building good habits. The next lesson is to go back to the chart and the data, not our feelings. Share the chart and the data, not our PNL, right? Nor our feelings. Share the chart and the data, not my PNL, right? The next chart is, we have awareness. And the next lesson is I will be using rejection block entries in some scenarios, right? The only time we'll be entering out of the rejection block if the wick is overtaking the body, right? So next lesson is, but the model one must be confirmed and must have the right model one, right? So the next lesson is to have laser focus and look for S&P trades and have laser focus and look for S&P divergence trades, right? So monitor DU, GU, and DXY for S&P divergence trade, right? So constantly monitor GU and DXY for S&P divergence, not just GU, right? So that's the next lesson we're gonna have as well. And this is my weekly market recap on how I ended up on a negative 1RR. Before the trade, we're supposed to be ended up on a 7R week, but less than right? And yeah, thank you for watching. This is on Discord. Links down below. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, and see you guys later. Peace out. All right, chat. I was there for that, chat. Okay, made that video. Okay. What else do we gotta make? We do a market. I had to have on liquidity here. 12 months here. I got to look. I took it to the okay. Six months. Let's see the logo. 6 months. Bro, what are we? Image here. It's super high. Super high. It's just let's see. Okay. Okay, what else do we have here? 3 month time frame, sent by Syria. That's what we had. That's what we need, right? Monthly, I don't have much here. We definitely have a expansion daily range time frame. What do we have? We have a weekly roll to IRL right over here. Actually, yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. Right, okay. This is good enough. This is good enough, right? This is my weekly market forecast going over higher time frame of oh shit. This is my weekly market golf. Oh my! What is near glasses maybe fucked up. Hold up. It hurts my eyes, bro. I'm not gonna. This is my weekly market forecast going over the EUs and GUs and DXYs high time frame draw on liquidity. This is my high time frame, prediction where I think the market high time frame will go. High time frame draw on liquidity, right? Just straight into it. What I was saying anytime. Real quick before we start off any forward, make sure you guys join the Discord. Link this shit down below. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, and join the Discord, right? And shit down below and get straight back into it, right? We're gonna have our higher time drawn liquidity on a 6 month time frame. The 12 month time drawn liquidity already got met from our last stream. As I said, my last video, CTI is gonna get met and it got met, right? Now, what do we have here? Since we don't have too much, information on the 12 month time frame. Now we're gonna go to 6 month for that confirmation, right? For the, for the, I'm saying, for the in-depth drawn liquidity, right? So on the 6 month time frame, what do we have here? 6 month CRT low got soup right over here. CRT low got soup. We're going to 6 month CRT high, which is right over here, which we're close straight into it, right? And so we have a 6 month ERL to IRL. I'm wondering, well, Tucky, why do you? Well, what about this fair value gap right over here? This fair value gap, we do not care about it. Two things: one, this fair value gap is inside the CRT. Two, this fair value gap is in the discount, right? But wondering, well, this region is in the premium though. But guess what? And that right there does not matter. Just right because right if just right as right if it's in the discount region, this fair value does not matter. What fair value matters is this right over here, right? So we go from a 6 month ERL to discounted to premium IRL. So discount ERL to premium IRL right over here. And how do we have a daily range here? We have a daily range as well, right? So we have a 6 month daily range. Discount daily range got met. A discount daily range got tapped, so we're going to daily range high. How is the daily range market set at a low? So that high, stable high, and eventually market stable low. So this is our discount daily range, this is our daily range high. Or this is our discount daily range, premium of the daily range. Discount of the daily range got tapped, so we're going to daily range high, which is all over here. And that's what we have for the higher time frame. Now let's get down to the 3 month time frame. 3 month time frame, we have a 3 month ERL right over here to IRL months fair value, the 60 months fair value, right? Because yeah, this they all making sense here. On the monthly, we do not got much here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So I'm gonna skip the monthly. We're gonna go to the weekly. Weekly, we have a weekly ERL right over here. You can see to IRL is fair value. So a weekly ERL to IRL as well. We have a weekly CRT to the downside, right? So our short-term draw on liquidity be to the weekly CRT high into the CRT low, right? Now let's go to the daily, right? That's the weekly time frame. On a daily time frame of a daily ERL to IRL. So we have a daily CRT to the downside, right? So we can go potentially either do two things here, right? We could go press at the high first, go lower, right? Eventually go to the drawn liquidity here, down here, or we could potentially go lower, high, to go down lower from there, right? Because why? Because we need the weekly short term looking to get met, which is the CRT high, which is right over here, right? So that's what we're looking for on EU. This is my higher time for drawn liquidity, and you're probably wondering, well, you said the higher time is bullish. Yes, gold over here, right? You can see. So once this weekly CRT high gets met, right? Once this weekly CRT high gets met right over here, it's highly likely gonna go tap this 6-month drawn liquidity, right? So once daily once the weekly CRT high right over here gets met, so short term and long term right over here, once the short term liquidity gets met on the weekly time for the weekly CRT to the downside, it's highly likely gonna go and tap the drawn liquidity of the 6-month CRT high. It's probably gonna tap the 6-month CRT high right over here, right? You see how it all makes sense here? But one thing, well, the market's supposed to go over here. Yes, it will go there, right? So once it taps it, then we're gonna have a short term push to the downside, right? Which is in a weekly, daily, right? So we're gonna go from a daily, either daily ERL to IRL, eventually from IRL back to ERL, and eventually go from back lower from there. Or we can go super the high first, instantly tap the 6-month CRT high, eventually go lower from there, right? So this is my weekly market forecast. You see how everything here makes sense, right? So yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, and join the Discord link down below. And see you guys later. Peace out. This is my market forecast for UUSD, DXY, and GU. But wondering, will GU and DXY? It's a homework for you to do. I'm only gonna do GU. I'm only gonna do EU for you. So go do and go do GU and DXY. Right? Peace out. Peace. What's up, baby CRT? What's good? What's good? What's good? Yo, what's good, my boy CRT? What's good, my boy? Hello, teacher FX. What's good? What's good? Good. All right, Chad. We're done for the week. We're done for the day. I'm out. I'm tired as hell. I've been live for 2 hours here, bro. What the fuck? Oh wait. All right, my bad, my boy. Hello, FX teacher. I'm tired as hell right now. I'm gonna see you guys later. Peace out. Hey, that's the word for the day. See you guys later. Peace. Damn, I look clapped. I look clapped. I'll be right back. Peace out, chat. Peace.